This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Amber Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about 4 Moses Lake High School graduates and former Mola Hyettes who now cheer on WSU athletics in Pullman. Reporter Joe Utter has the story.
Saturdays in Pullman means the return of Cougar football. This past Saturday, about 31,000 people donned their crimson and gray and watched the Cougs take care of Wyoming 31-14 for their second win in 3 games. While most Cougar fans will recognize names like Mike Leach, Luke Falk, and Dom Williams, people in Moses Lake might recognize some familiar faces on the sidelines. 4 Moses Lake High School graduates and former members of the cheer team and the Mola Hyatts, now students at Washington State, are part of the WSU cheer squad, including junior McKenna, sophomores Kristen and Jalen, who are members of the Crimson Girls, and Nia, a member of the cheerleading squad. While the Mola Hyatts have been very successful in recent years, McKenna and Nia said there are differences cheering at the collegiate level.
It's a big difference. A lot more work is put in throughout the week while balancing school, but it's totally worth it, and it's really great to be on the team.
Yeah, definitely. It was a huge change, and the crowd is insane. That's probably my favorite part.
For the cheer squads, football game day begins about 3 hours before the match, greeting fans outside Martin Stadium, performing cheer and dance routines, and welcoming the players for what's called the Cougar Prow. Game days can mean long hours for the girls, but it's no different during the week as they try to balance practice, games, and schoolwork.
We dance about 3 days a week with workouts twice a week, so balancing it out, you just have to really plan out your week and know how to balance schoolwork with dancing and get ahead in your classes so you don't fall behind.
It's a lot of time management. I have like a giant planner. It helps me out a lot.
Besides cheering at Cougar games, the dance and cheer teams also compete in national competitions, participate in cheer clinics, volunteer their time in the Pullman community, and promote WSU athletics at various events. Many of the previous Crimson Girls have gone on to dance for professional teams, including the Seattle Seahawks, Portland Trail Blazers, and the Dallas Cowboys. While the cheer team doesn't travel to WSU away games, they can be seen at football, men's and women's basketball, and volleyball games throughout the year.
We love them all. Yep, we support every team equally, and we just cheer on our Cougs.
For more information on the Crimson Girls and the cheer squad, go to WSUCougars.com. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
In Moses Lake, the Boys and Girls Club recently unveiled its new $3 million clubhouse with a ribbon cutting and reception. Reporter Cameron Probert was there and has the story.
After years of fundraising, the Boys and Girls Club opened their new clubhouse next to Park Orchard Elementary School Friday. The roughly 10,700 square foot facility features games, places for children to study, and room for other activities. The roughly $3 million project was paid for mostly by raising funds from the community. Executive Director Brant Mayo told the crowd gathered at the clubhouse it was a long and arduous road to raise the money to build the facility.
As I stand here today and see everybody here, and when we get the kids in here in a little while, I can honestly say it's been worth it all. I'm really excited.
The new clubhouse is roughly twice the size of the facility on 3rd Avenue. Mayo said the new facility allows the club to recruit children and hold membership drives.
And we're really excited because we're anticipating we'll be well over 200, pushing 250 kids a day through this facility. So we're so excited for that.
For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at primetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
This weather segment's brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at your weather headlines. We're going to have a great weekend in store and Supermoon Sunday. That's where the moon outside is actually going to be 15 to 30% bigger, and that's because the moon is going to be closer to the Earth. So as it's closer to the Earth, it's going to look bigger for us. You can catch that Sunday evening. And we will have a frontal system arrive by late next week, causing showers and thunderstorms. So enjoy this weekend. I'll have those conditions for you in your 7-day outlook. Low for us here in Ephrata is 50, nothing in the way of precip. Sun's going to set for us nicely around 6:50. Record high was set back in 1952 of 92 degrees, and record low back in 1970 of 34. For our friends out at Moses Lake, they had a record high back in 1962 of 87 and the record low back in 1972 of 34 degrees. The sun will set for our friends in Moses Lake right around 6:49 p.m. and they saw a low right around 45 degrees. Here's a look right now outside your door. Partly cloudy skies to broken cloudy skies. 76 is the current temperature, and the winds are also slightly blowing out there. Here's a look at your futurecast model. Humidity is going to start coming in off of the coast. As it does so, that'll bring cloud coverage and very, very spotty to isolated showers. Nothing in the way of severe storms to talk about, just a light dusting. They will clear out by the time the children want to come out to play. Conditions are going to look great, and then Saturday we're going to see various clouds and partly cloudy skies. As we can see in towards Port Angeles, 61 degrees, 66 along the coastal regions, inland northwest, calling for highs right around the lower 70s, Yakima 77 with broken clouds. For us here locally, we're going to see 75 for Bridgeport and for Moses Lake, as well as for us here in Ephrata, 74, sunny skies, great conditions to definitely go out and enjoy this weekend. Sunny skies, and then as we move just a little bit over, we're going to see broken clouds, but the majority of us are going to see a great weekend in store. Go on out and enjoy it, folks. It's going to be great. Here's a look at my 7-day outlook. We're going to call for great conditions throughout the weekend, and then by the time Wednesday and Thursday roll around, we are going to see cloud coverage increase, and that frontal system will arrive right around Friday, bringing us a chance for showers and thunderstorms. The percentage on these are going to be 40% for the time we hit Friday. Temperatures are looking nice right around the 70s. Lows are going to be right around the 40s. Stay tuned. Sports is next.
Paying your Grant PUD bill with ePay is like getting free cuts in line. You pay when you want, how you want. Get free cuts in line with Grant PUD ePay. Visit grantpud.org.
Oh, dude, I'm just in the theater. It's totally cool.
Ah.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go Flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Moses Lake and Eastmont butted heads in an important Big 9 showdown on the pitch at Lions Field Tuesday. Reporter Sean Wells was on hand for the action.
It was a Big 9 conference home match for the Moses Lake Chiefs hosting Eastmont. The Chiefs were looking to stay atop the table in the Big 9 conference with a victory. The match started off physical as both teams battled for possession. Maddie Krogh broke the scoreless tie for the Chiefs in the first half with an assist from Abby Rathman. Eastmont fought back in the second half to level the match at 1-1. As time wore on, the Chiefs continued to attack. Ellie Mayo gave the Chiefs the lead with a nice run up from the defensive position, placing the ball in the back of the net. The Chiefs would hold on to take the match 2-1 and move to 3-0 in league play. Moses Lake head coach Rick Charr was proud of his girls' effort.
Yeah, you know, that's Chief soccer. I mean, we gotta make up for the lack of experience we have. I mean, we have 14 girls that are freshmen and sophomores on varsity. So how do we make up for lack of size and speed and, you know, experience? We just got to play tough soccer and can't give up.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
The Lady Vikings and Sasquatch went at it in NWAC volleyball action Thursday evening. Sean Wells has the story.
It was a big conference showdown for Big Ben hosting Spokane. The Vikes were looking to notch their first league victory under first-year head coach Joni Nagy. The Lady Sasquatch jumped out to an early lead in the first set with aggressive attacking play, winning 25-17. The Lady Vikings gave great effort in the second set, but a late run by Spokane put them on top with an identical first set score. The Sasquatch jumped out to an early lead in the third set and held true to close out the Vikings and win the match in 3 straight sets. Jessica Smouts was the MVP for Spokane, recording 15 kills, 27 assists, and 11 digs. Sierra English also had a nice match for the Sasquatch, posting 7 kills, 27 assists, and 8 digs. Brooke Sorensen recorded 8 kills, 40 assists, and 15 digs for Big Ben, while Bryn Bowers had 6 kills and 24 assists for the Vikings. The loss moves Big Ben to 0-2 in conference play with a 6-11 overall record. The Lady Vikings are back on the road Friday at Walla Walla. For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Basin High School football action has the Moses Lake Chiefs hosting Eisenhower in their season opener. Warden hosts Riverview. Royal entertains Cashmere. ACH hosts Cusick in what should be a wild game of 8-man ball. And we'll be broadcasting the Battle of the Basin between arch rivals Quincy and Ephrata live from Kiwanis Field. Kickoff is 7 p.m. Have a great weekend, and if the opportunity presents itself, get out and cheer on your favorite football team. Players and coaches will appreciate your support. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
The Dodge brothers' competitive spirit and engineering prowess started long before they built their first car, and will continue long after their latest, the most technologically advanced vehicle in its class.
Our next story is about the Royal High School football and how the team's head coach has made the program a family affair. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
About 2,000 people call Royal City home. There's no downtown sprawl or lavish nightlight scene. There isn't even a stoplight around for 30 miles. Perhaps its biggest attraction, though, is its high school and an athletic program which has seen its share of success over the past 40 years. Most recently, that success has gone to Royal City's football program, which has been a perennial power in the Division 1A South Central Athletic Conference for the past decade. At the heart of the Knights is head coach Wiley Allred, who's led the program since 1999, and for him, football remains a family affair. Wiley's wife Maria has been in charge of filming each game for the past 18 years, and their son Dexter has returned to the team he played for as an assistant coach. Allred said while he didn't plan on having his family be so involved in the program when he started, it's paid dividends in the long run.
Well, I always know where my film person's going to be on Friday nights, but it's nice. Obviously, want to include family in as much of what you do as you possibly can. And we've had all our daughters helping with stats when they've come through high school, and Dexter's come back to the farm, and then we've made time to help so he can help coach, and he helps with running backs, linebackers, and helps coach the freshman team.
Maria also helps out with the Booster Club, and with all 5 of her children having attended Royal, she always planned on being involved in their activities. Filming football games, however, came about unexpectedly.
Well, the woman that filmed before me, her husband got sick and was in the hospital, and so she couldn't come, and they had a dad do the first game, and it wasn't a very good film, I guess. He had a lot of the side stuff on there, and so he asked if I would give it a try, and I did, and yeah, I said I was going to retire when our youngest graduated, but this is my second season since, and I'm still doing it.
For Wiley, having people close to home he can talk to about football helps, but he says he also has the support of a strong team of other coaches around him.
Maria doesn't offer a lot in that area, which we kind of separate our duties, and that's probably works better. And Dexter, yeah, I ask him a lot of things, especially with the freshman kids and the freshman team, and find out individually sometimes how they're doing and how certain kids reacted if I missed a freshman game that's away, and also even with the varsity. But we have other coaches as well, and we have a great staff, and I really value all their feedback. And so like Jeremy Scroggins was a head coach for 3 years at Grandview, and he could run this program, and Dan Oppelt's been a head coach before. So we have others along with Dexter that I get a lot of good feedback, and we work together well.
Dexter Allred says he's learned a lot working with his parents and seeing how their relationship has helped the team succeed. He also admitted which one has the edge when it comes to what happens on the gridiron.
Who knows more about football, your mom or your dad?
No contest.
I think my dad. Mom tries to, but sometimes she'll put her opinion in, but not too often. Dad tends to know best when it comes to the football team.
In Royal City, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Welcome back. The next story is about the popular Harvest Maze and Pumpkin Patch in Quincy that opens Saturday and runs through October 25th. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Quincy Valley Lions Club wants to scare the daylights out of you, but it's all for a good cause. The Lions' 6th annual Harvest Maze and Pumpkin Patch fundraising event is ready to produce some blood-curdling screams beginning Saturday. The event runs from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays through October 25th. Janice Stevens, a longtime Lions Club member, said the mazes are done up better than ever for children and adults of all ages. Kids picked about 2,500 pumpkins from the patch last year, and about 3,000 people attended. The club raised more than $6,000 last year. Stevens explained where the dollars go.
We do 3 scholarships of $1,000. We put $5,000 towards playground equipment. We have put $2,000 towards the fire victims. We do a backpack program every year in InvestEd. It's a statewide program that helps the kids that can't afford, like their ASB cards, things like that.
Stevens said Central Washington wildfire victims are also helped by proceeds raised.
We did one last year, and then for Pateros, and then we did one this year for Okanagan, Tenasket.
Some new features were added to the event this year.
We added another slide this year. We added some more decorations, and we'll be adding a couple new games that should show up Saturday.
Stevens described what makes the event so popular with families.
It's just something different in the area to do, and I think that when the kids get out here, they don't realize how much there is to do. We have games inside the mazes that they have to find either the animals or the hidden objects, and it just keeps them occupied. And they get to pick their own pumpkin, and I think that's one of the big draws. I think the first year the slide was the biggest draw.
The pumpkin patch and mazes are on part of Becerra Gardens Farm near the corner of Road 9 Northwest and Road K Northwest near Quincy. Stevens said the pumpkin patch is a partnership with the owner of Becerra Gardens.
He plants the pumpkin patch for us, he takes care of it for us, and he splits the proceeds of the pumpkins with us.
The farm will be open to sell produce during the weekend events. Cost of the maze and pumpkin patch is $6 per person and includes the pumpkin patch, mazes, games, and activities. Special group rates and dates are available, and the Lions Club will keep the maze and patch open on Halloween if groups contact them ahead of time. You can contact the Lions Club at 509-398-2631. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about the upcoming Pioneer Day held at the Grant County Historical Museum in Ephrata. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
The Grant County Museum wraps up its 2015 season with its annual Pioneer Day celebration on Saturday. Grant County Historical Society member Pat Witham talks about what's in store.
This Saturday, the 26th, from 10 to 4, the museum will have its annual Pioneer Day. And there'll be people in every building. Grant County Sheriff's Posse will be here, and they will do their bank robbery and also their street shootout and the horse races for the kids. Now, it's the stick horse races, but they do get trophies. They're broken up into age groups, and it's quite exciting to see little 4-year-olds walk off with a trophy. And the American Legion, Post 28 here in Ephrata, will be barbecuing. It's a great deal. We do this once a year, and possibly you can come in and learn something about the history of Grant County and protect your heritage at the same time.
In Ephrata, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFIBER 1 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.